These are the reactions after people saw that the Root Rider nerf is coming.
Feels like Root Riders are barely usable now.
Finally, I hate these Root Rider spammers.
I am very sorry to tell you, Miles, but Root Riders are now even stronger. Korean 2.0 is a lot better than the initial version, as Town Hall 15s are now capable of easily 3-starring Town Hall 16s. After you have watched this tutorial, you will also be able to demolish any base in Clash of Clans. By the way, in the end I am going to attack enemy number 1 base, and let me tell you, the result was absolutely shocking. First of all, the Korean 2.0 army composition consists of 14 Valkyries, 4 witches, 1 mini warden, 7 root riders, 1 heal spell, 4 freeze spells, 1 skeleton spell, and 2 rage spells. For the clan castle, just take 2 root riders, 1 freeze, and the brand new overgrowth spell, along with level 5 siege barrack that spawns 2 pekkas instead of 1. If you are wondering why I took the overgrowth with clan castle reinforcements, then I think most of us don't have this spell unlocked yet, but thanks to the clan mates and raid medals it's pretty easy to get it. Now we are going to use my semi-max Town Hall 15 account with level 1 pets to 3-star and almost maxed out Town Hall 16. So first of all, it's very important to know how to attack both offset Town Hall bases and the ones where the Town Hall is in the center of the base. We will start with the base where the Town Hall is not in the center of the base. The first and most crucial thing you must know is picking the correct side. If you are gonna attack from the wrong side, then everything else could turn out useless. There are 3 things you need to take into consideration when making this decision. Number 1 is the location of the Town Hall. You don't want your whole army to walk through the poison early on, so this tells us we have to attack from opposite sides. Number 2 is the location of the key defenses. Since we are using quite a spammy army, then eagle artillery and scatter shots are the main targets we want to get rid of as quickly as possible, which means the bottom right side seems to be the best option for us so far. Number 3 is how easily will you be able to create a funnel. For the standard funnel, we are using 1 root rider, 1 Valkyrie, and 2 witches. Against this particular base, the standard funnel works perfectly, but if you are facing a base where there is a lot of high damage like a single targeting Inferno Tower or a hero, then you have 2 options. First is to use a different side or use a different funneling strategy that I am going to explain later in the video. Now that we have figured out the side, it's time to start attacking by creating a funnel. As mentioned already, then we are going to use 1 root rider, 1 Valkyrie, and 2 witches from both corners, and once the outer trash buildings have been cleaned up, we are going to send in rest of the root riders, mini warden, siege barrack, heroes, and lastly the Valkyries, before the troops are gonna walk out of the Grand Warden's aura, pop the Queen's ability to spawn healers, and then use that Eternal Tome to make all the troops invulnerable. In case you don't have healer puppets at least level 9, then simply pick the invisibility vial instead, but don't pop the ability until necessary. When it comes to Grand Warden's abilities, then Eternal Tome is a must, but the second ability can be whether a Rage Gem or an Healing Tome. While the troops are invulnerable, make sure to use one of the rage spells to get the key defenses wiped off the map as quickly as possible. Before the Eternal Tome is about to run out, start looking for defenses that you might want to freeze, like single targeting Inferno Towers, merge defenses, monolith, and so on, but make sure to leave at least 1 freeze spell for the Town Hall. Second rage spell is situational, and in this case I used it to help my troops to get rid of the defending CC. Heal spell is also situational and should be used whenever a bigger group of your troops are low health. Now that half of the base is soon to be destroyed, we are getting ready to drop that overgrowth spell on the Town Hall and any of the defenses around it. In case the Giga Inferno gets triggered before 50% destruction, then you might have to use the overgrowth spell earlier. Now there is plenty of time for the rest of the troops to clean all the surrounding buildings before the Giga Inferno starts shooting again. When it comes to BK abilities, then pick something between a giant gauntlet, rage vial, and a vamp stash. For the royal champion, default option is completely fine as I am using it here, but if you have haste vial at least level 6, then be sure to use it. Anyway, once the overgrowth duration is gonna run out, get ready to drop that freeze spell on the Town Hall while the troops are cleaning up those last few buildings. As promised, I will quickly show how to funnel when there are a lot of high damage defenses or a hero nearby. Instead of the standard funnel, you have to use something more, and in many cases simply using a level 5 siege barrack is more than enough, but when there is a hero or a single targeting Inferno, then you might want to use also a skeleton spell to distract, and perhaps even a freeze spell with some extra troops. This is very important because without a proper funnel the troops could go running around the base, which is the last thing you want to see happening. Next up we have centralized town hall bases that used to be the weakness of this strategy but not anymore. Once again the most important is to find where we should attack this base. This time the first thing we have to take into consideration is the location of the Eagle artillery. Even though the obvious answer would be to attack from bottom left, then we have to think about the defending clan castle troops as well, which is the second thing to take into consideration. Let's say we did attack from bottom left, then once our troops are being targeted by the highest damage dealing defenses like scatter shots and the town hall itself, then is the time we also have to deal with the defending CC troops that could potentially ruin our attack. This is often the reason base builders place Eagle artillery and defending CC on opposite sides of each other, because both of them are difficult to deal with. That means we have to attack so we can deal with both of them early on, which leaves us with whether the upper left side or bottom right side. Like with the offset bases, then also here the last factor that helps us decide is the ability to funnel. Since this base is completely symmetrical with high hit point buildings in each corner along with high damage defenses, then we have to use siege barrack once again to create a funnel. Because we have that merged cannon right here, then it's not a good idea to send in the Pekkas from the right side corner, so we are going to use the siege barrack from the bottom corner and in front of it one root rider to break up the wall. From the ricochet cannon we are going to use one root rider, one Valkyrie, and 4 witches. The skeletons that are being spawned by the witches are a perfect counter to the ricochet cannon, as it's eventually going to bounce off those really low hit point Larrys. So that the root rider won't be killed immediately, we need to use also skeleton spell and freeze so that the defenses won't target the root rider anymore. Since there are so many high hit point buildings, we can't wait for the perfect funnel, and it's time to send in the main army, starting with the root riders, then mini warden, heroes, Valkyries. Once again pop the queen's ability if you have healer puppets, and then also use the grand warden's ability. Now look where the troops are moving and use a rage spell. Because my troops were under a heavy fire by the key defenses and defending CC troops while poison was slowing them down, then it was the perfect time to use a heal spell to keep my troops alive. Once my troops were about to attack the town hall, I dropped the Overgrowth Spell, which gave the troops plenty of time to clean up the rest of the buildings around the town hall without being really damaged. As soon as the overgrowth duration is over, use that freeze spell to protect your troops. This way you will literally run over everything that's left inside the core of the base despite attacking Town Hall 16 with Town Hall 15. Now is the time to take this attack strategy to the clan war, where I am going to be attacking their number 1 base. In order to make the planning easier, I have put together this checklist that's gonna help us plan the attack. First of all, the town hall is located in the outer areas of the base, which means we are going to attack using one of the opposite sides. Whether it's going to be upper right or bottom right comes down to the key defenses like Eagle artillery and scatter shot. Since Eagle artillery is in the core of the base and there is almost the same distance from both sides, then we are going to look at where the scatter shots are. Both of them are at the upper right side, so now we must look at the funneling. It looks like both upper corner and bottom corner have almost the same amount of buildings without any high damage defenses. Then we are going to go from upper right side because we can take down the scatter shots while our troops are invulnerable due to the Eternal Tome ability. Now, is it easy or difficult to funnel? In this case it's both easy and difficult. Upper corner has few buildings with almost no immediate threat of root rider dying, so we can use the easy standard way of funneling. Right side corner on the other hand has loads of buildings with high damage defenses nearby, which means we have to use the siege barrack. That should be enough to clean up the outer trash buildings. Last thing is to quickly look at the base and see where are the potential places where you might need to use each of the spells. I will talk about these as we are attacking, so now let's see if I can 3-star the enemy number 1 using the improved Korean attack strategy. First of all, we are going to drop that siege barrack because the right side corner obviously takes longer to clean up. Then we are going to send in 1 root rider, 1 Valkyrie, and 4 witches from the upper corner, and as soon as the funnel is finished the main army goes in with root riders first, then the mini warden, heroes and Valkyries. Before the troops are gonna run out, we will pop that queen's ability along with grand wardens to make the whole army invulnerable. Now, in order to clean up those scatter shots ASAP, we are going to drop the first rage spell. If there are 3 ice cubes in the defending CC, then you might have to use that heal spell early on to keep the troops alive. Also, now is the time I started dropping freeze spells here and there along with the skeleton spell to distract the single targeting inferno tower. As soon as that overall damage was at 50%, I dropped the Overgrowth Spell on the town hall and nearby defenses to allow my troops to clean everything around it before they are going to deal with the town hall. Once the overgrowth duration was over, I had still 2 freeze spells left to keep that Giga Inferno nice and chilly while my troops were cleaning up the floor. After the attack, I actually felt really sorry for their number 1 because a few minutes later the same dude attacked one of my BK blinders, and this dude's old man was so embarrassed that he didn't even wanna show himself to the world anymore. By the way, here is a secret playlist with the best Clash of Clans videos I handpicked especially for you.